contest examples. So we talked in the last video about contests and how to set one up. Now I'm going to walk through just a few examples of contests that either are currently taking place or have taken place on Pinterest. The first one is Wilson Leather. So I wasn't sure how well that you could actually see the how to enter guidelines on the pin itself. This is the actual contest pin. And you can see that it's, a woman wearing an obvious Wilson Leather jacket. And, and then it just says the contest rules, and it's the fall dream wardrobe. So let's walk through kind of the actual rules and what they did, and let's assess it. So first, you have to become a follower of Wilson Leather. So in order to join the contest, you have to follow all of Wilson Leather, not just one board or not just a contest board, but follow Wilson Leather as a company on Pinterest. Then you have to create a board with their initials WL in it, which I have to say, I think that it's great to create a board with a brand's actual name or something, product. Here I'm a little bit bummed that they said just do WL, because other people will see WL as their board being stood up and they won't know really what that is, probably. So if it were me, I would definitely have people call the board Wilson Leather, not just WL. Oh, that's just me. So then you can pin their items to the new WL board. And, you don't actually have to pin their items. If you look closely, it says you have to create the board, and actually you have to call it WL Dream Fall Wardrobe. So maybe by saying Dream Fall Wardrobe, WL will come out as Wilson Leather if you're already familiar with their brand. Then you can pin and repin your Dream Fall fashion items. Now notice, they don't limit you to pinning Wilson Leather fall fashion items. So this leads me to believe that their goal for this contest is to get inspired and understand what their customers and clients really like, what they would like to see. Maybe Wilson Leather is doing this contest as a way to figure out what new product or what new jacket or, what new Wilson Leather item they will build next, or they will create for their customers based on what their customers pin. So that's one reason why I could see doing it, to not limit them to just Wilson Leather items. Then it does do a great job filling out the form, making sure that they do collect people's names and email addresses. And then they simply send in their new Pinterest boards that they had to create. They have to send them the link. So this is I think it's a great contest example. You win $500. And at least at the time of this recording, this contest, I think, just ended. So I don't know the exact results of how many followers they gained or how it worked out for them. But this is one example of a contest on Pinterest. Notice at the very bottom, if you can see it, they don't give a call to action, which is a little bit of a bummer, but they do say some hashtags, hashtag WL Dreamfall Wardrobe, WL win. I'm sorry, not WL. Hashtag win, hashtag WL Dreamfall Wardrobe, hashtag giveaway. So they have 3 different hashtags, and I guess they're assuming that people will put the hashtags on their pins, but they don't actually tell you to do that. So I'm not really clear on what they want to do with the hashtags on the bottom, because they don't tell you. So if you do a contest and you're going to use something like hashtags, tell people that this is how you want them to be used. All right, so the next one is Pompadour, which is a makeup product company. They also walk through how specifically to enter, and this pin that you see is a picture of their actual contest pin. So you see it has their brand name, has Pin It to Win It, Summer Beauty, and that gives you specific information on how to enter. So again, you have to become a follower of all of Pompadour. So not just a specific board, but you have to follow their company Pinterest page, much like Wilson Leather had you do. You have to create a board with their name in it. In fact, your board will just simply be called Pompadour. Actually, no, Pompadour Summer Beauty is what they want you to call it. Then you have to pin specific images with their name and product visuals on it. So here, Pompadour wants you to pin only their products. So it's a little bit different than what we just saw with Wilson Leather. This might be a great way for Pompadour to get you to become exposed and familiar with their products by having to search through and pin certain items that they already have. So you also pin your favorite summer beauty images again, from Pompadour's boards. So everything has to come from Pompadour's boards. Now here they do a great job giving you a call to action on how to use a hashtag. In fact, you have to use a hashtag for each and every single pin that you do. And the only shortfall that I see with this one is that I didn't see a call to action for getting names and email addresses. So I don't know how they're going to let people actually know that they won. Maybe if you go directly to their website page, they have a separate place to enter. It should be made really clear on the pin itself, though, since it is a Pinterest contest. You definitely want to tell people exactly every step they need to do on your pin so there's no guessing. And if you have additional information that you simply can't fit on the pin, then say click the pin for more information, or make it very obvious of whatever it is that you want people to do to make sure that they actually do it, to make your contest a success. So that is the next example. Now we're going to go into Cointro, and I'm not sure exactly how you pronounce that, Cointro, but it's a dream soiree. Basically they're giving away a dream party. A dream soiree sweepstakes is what they're calling it. And how they want you to enter, first, again, notice the trend here. They want you to become a follower of all of their boards, not just a contest board. So you have to become a follower of their company. You have to create a new board. And the new board, interestingly, is just called Dream Soiree. It's not actually, it doesn't have Cointro in the name at all. So this, again, much like the Wilson Leather one, I think what they're trying to do here, their goal for this contest is just to understand what their customers really like, what their customers really want, which is a great, that's a great way to use a contest. So that, I believe, is their goal here, not brand awareness so much, because they're not limiting you to using their name and their items. But then you do have to pin their contest pin plus 10 inspirational pins. So you have to take that contest pin that they create and also come up with 10 pins that inspire you. And you have to pin those. You have to enter your Pinterest URL on their website to win. Now, it doesn't say here clearly any name or email capture, but I'm pretty sure on their contest page, they do have you actually enter that information, which is good, especially if they're giving, you don't want to just send them the URL, then they have to dig up your information from Pinterest itself to try to let you know that you're even a winner. So I'm pretty sure they do actually, although they don't make it obvious. So that part, I would probably do a better job letting people know very specifically what you need from them, everything that you need from them in order for them to enter your contest. And then they don't use any hashtags like the previous contests we saw. And the last example that I'm going to show you is Caribou Coffee. And I think this one is such a cool contest because it was used as a way to inspire their next coffee blend. And they had the coolest contest board set up. And in fact, if you want to find it, you can do, because they use hashtags, you can go to Google and literally Google the hashtag Inspire Caribou, and it will take you to their board. Their Pinterest board, where you can see it was very unique, and I've never seen anything quite like it done, which is why I really loved it, because they had their board set up where they come out and they tell you this board is best viewed with 4 pins across at a time. And so I didn't snapshot the contest pin or anything. I wanted to show you this is what it looks like with 4 pins across. How cool is that, right? They managed to set up each of the pins to equal one entire picture together. It's like a puzzle. Very cool, very unique. And while not all of the layers of pins do this, each layer it's like telling a story, and you start from the top 4 pins and you view 4 pins at a time, and you go to the next one and the next level down, and you go row by row, and it kind of tells a story. And it's a very unique contest in that way. And Caribou Coffee is a very well-known brand as it is. So brand awareness was not what they were seeking. They were seeking inspiration to build their next coffee blend, to come up with their next coffee blend to sell. But they wanted their customers to create it for them, or help them create it rather, to inspire them. So they had pinners add inspiring images with the # Inspire Caribou. So people were, putting very fruity images, luscious, luscious landscape kinds of images, like vino, vineyard kinds of images. And they used all those pins to determine what their new coffee blend would actually be. What did it end up being? Well, it was a fragrant blend of Latin American and sweet Ethiopian beans with notes of fruit and wine in every cup. How cool is that, right? So that I thought was a really neat example, very unique in their board and the way they set it up. It definitely caught the attention of press because it was so unique, and it was a very successful campaign. This is, of course, completed, and they actually do have their new blend out already. So this is something that's already been done. It's done and over, but it's a really great contest example. So there's just a few contest examples. Actually, I think I went through 4 of them for you to give you some inspiration yourself, some ideas on how to build a contest, what your goals for your contest could be, and then some of the ideas. Do you want to include hashtags? How are you going to get people to enter their email addresses? How are you going to track all of the contest entries? So some thoughts to put into your contest, but it is a really great way to get followers, get brand awareness, and get email addresses to ultimately make sales if that's your ultimate end goal for having a contest. Hope you find it helpful.